Hey guys, Nick Eilerman here with Van Builder HQ. I got Jamie with me today, and he gave me a question. He said, he looked up Ford Transit camper conversion ideas on Google, and he wants me to give you my opinion on these build outs, what I like about them, what I don't like about them. So we've got them right here. I'm actually let me share this with you so you can see. All right, how's that working?
Yes, I still see my face.
All right, so you guys at home, you'll actually be able to see the full screen here of the Google. All right, so all we did is type in Ford Transit camper conversion ideas. And this is the big wormhole you go down when you're getting ready to build out your van. You may have an idea of exactly what you want, or you may have no idea and you want to pick up some inspiration or even copy some ideas that some people have done, because that's actually an easy way to get started. So we have these right here. I'm just going to go through the photos right here on the right. So the photos on this first photo just randomly pulled up. This is a nice clean build. You got a good layout. This is pretty much a typical style van you see these days, especially in the US. Just like clean white, wood ceiling, wood accents, that type of thing. The first thing I'll talk about is the layout. I really like this layout. So my personal van that I have, the low roof 2019 Ford Transit 148 inch, this is really close to my layout. It is also close to the layout of the van number 1 conversion that we're doing here in the shop. And what people like about this, just upon my research and actually doing some camping in my van, the first thing I see is the fixed bed. So this is a fixed bed, which means you don't have to take the bed down, build it back out into a dinette or a bench seating area. It's ready to go when you need it. And this may not be the layout for somebody who's doing full-time van living. Let's say I'm actually go back here. Full-time van living, because that dinette that you would break down and have 2 bench seats with a desk in the middle, full-timers that are on the road doing remote work like that setup, so they have a full desk they can work in. However, if you're doing more weekend trips, the fixed bed's nice because when you're done hiking for the day or going out and exploring, you come back in. You really don't have to build your bed. It's ready to go. One thing I do like about this van, so I can tell that this van may be the extended version of the Ford Transit, only because right here on the left and right, look here on the right side, you can see that there's a little seat. And you can only achieve that if you have the 148 extend, because the kitchen galley won't fit in there. Depending on this camera angle, it might be a 148, but I just know it's really tight to get that seat in there. But
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
We were at Adventureland Expo.
Adventure Expo.
Adventure Van. I saw this one. I didn't see. I know this is common when you see online, the one you're showing, but I didn't see that one, maybe because it was an event, as much at that expo. I only saw a few that were more like decorative. Some were more kind of storyteller functional.
Yeah, that's really interesting to me because, even though you and I went to the show, stuff I'm talking about right now that's online, what's really interesting is the stuff at the show, I really didn't think portrayed, what everyone that does YouTube channels full time or the content that they're putting out, their style of vans, whether it's, guys or girls, they have this type of layout or this type of look. Because I rarely see, and to be honest, that was Adventure Van Expo. So an adventure van,
it's more,
yeah, I think it's more
active.
Utilitarian. Not to say that this is not. This is
functional.
It's functional. It's a bed. It's got really good storage right here, as you can see. We got right here. This is a pull-out table, so they can still have the dinette, fridge, more storage, sink. Pretty nice.
What are those called? The pop outs in the windows?
Yeah, I call them bump outs.
bump outs.
So what's nice with, if we were on a Mac, I could easily zoom in, but we can't. These bump outs, they give you enough room for your head and your feet. And in a Ford Transit, you have about 74 inches between those two places. And depending on how much insulation and stuff like that you do, if you do a window, obviously that takes down the size. But this will allow somebody 6 feet to sleep sideways. And that's what a lot of people like to go for. A Sprinter van is going to be much narrower, and it's not going to allow you to do this unless you do the bump outs or a flare space. Add the flare space flares. So flare space. Just do a little image here. If you guys can see. So flare space, these sides right here are what come in the kit, and then on a Sprinter, this is what you're looking at.
I always like that orange.
Although I've not heard a concern about this, at least the vans that I'm initially doing, I like to kind of get back to our topic on hand. I like the Ford Transit because you get the width without having to cut this out. For people who don't know what this bump out entails, you actually have to cut out with a jigsaw the whole entire panel. And then this is a piece of fiberglass.
On the Sprinter.
Oh, no, it doesn't matter. You can do flares on Ford Transit. You can do it on
No,
Sprinter.
I'm saying, you said you have to cut out the whole thing with the Sprinter?
Oh, yes. Let me clear that up. So on a Ford Transit, you have enough room width-wise via the structure of the van it's not necessary to cut it out to allow more space. Mm-hmm. So like you get, let's say 72 inches. If you go to a Mercedes Sprinter, the Mercedes Sprinter Let's see if I can find it. So you see we got 70 inches. So we got 70 inches is our maximum width. However, the wall curves in, so as you go up towards the bed, you're going to lose that. And I don't know I thought it was 68. But essentially, you're not going to be able to do a 6 foot tall person in here. If we just copy this, we go in. And we do Ford Transit. Yeah, so see the Sprinter wall? It curves in really aggressively. So you're not able to, without cutting the structure, let me back up here. Without cutting this out and then adding on the bump out like this to get this width, you're not going to be able to, the 6 foot tall person's not going to be able to lay width-wise. The second thing is it's pretty invasive. You're cutting out this whole entire panel. And this is a piece of fiberglass. And then, so the same adhesive that holds your windshield on, it's like a black adhesive type glue. Mm-hmm. This is specially formulated for stuff like that. They call it window weld. or whatever adhesive is recommended from Flare Space, and you actually glue this to the van. So it's glued to the van. It's not drilled or bolted. It's actually glued. I haven't heard of anything like these falling off on the trail. No, but if they're installed properly. But just for these first vans that we're doing, I didn't want to go this route. I wanted to keep the van intact as much as possible. And so that is why using a Ford Transit helps you. You can have the bed widthwise and not cut the hole out. So yeah, that was a long way to explain that. Yeah.
Can you go back to the images you had?
Which one? This one or this one?
That one. Scroll down a little bit. All right, that one in the middle with the dog cage. Down. No one.
This one?
Yeah, talk about that one. I feel like that was a look that I saw a lot talk about this one as a camper conversion idea.
So what I'm seeing here is they've increased the bed height, so really high. And it looks like their purpose here was to ensure that they could fit a mountain bike in there.
I saw a lot of these at the event. It looked like this style of having that cargo area was important.
Yeah. So the conversion that I'm doing, this is what I'll be doing. It'll be this height to allow for mountain bikes to be put in there. I don't think you need to be above 48 inches, but anywhere from, it's a pretty big controversy. So there was a forum here.
Yeah, van build.
Oh yeah, let me get the V in there. So
those are great questions. Like mountain bike fitting.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, you really just have to kind of go to shows and just kind of see, because this sprintersource.com forum, if you just search mountain bike height needed in van build, it'll be the first one to come up. And it was really cool. They did a poll. So they polled people, and it looks like 36 inches was what most people did.
What, does the bike have to be collapsible, or is that the height of a bike?
So to achieve 36 inches, you have to understand what you're doing is you're always taking the front tire off the bike. So this 36 inches is made up of the rear tire height and the seat post height. And for my research, the controversial topic of this whole thing is some extreme mountain bikers, they're really particular about not lowering or raising their seat height, their seat post height, because some of them have like carbon fiber seat post, and if it's sliding up and down, it can damage the seat post. So,
that's a deep insight.
I went down the wormhole on that.
But hey, that might be important to somebody.
Yeah, so that's a reason why some people might get closer to the 40 inches, but you're really taking away from your headroom up here.
So that last one we looked at was a little bit more glamorous.
Let's see this one. That's really high. So this is normal. That almost looks like 36 inches to me. Because so the way I'm designing,
that is a dog, right, in the middle.
It's a dog kennel.
Okay.
So what they've done, I'll get to that in 1 second. But what you want to do is have the best of both worlds. So you want to find out where your ceiling height is going to end. Your ceiling. Where's your ceiling height going to land? How high or low? Once you get your ceiling in, and you know how much insulation you're going to put in, the thickness of your ceiling, the lighting, whatever's that lowest point here, even your fan. Begin that as your measurement, and you can play around, and you can actually you can go in your house and sit on the ground. I do it in here, but I think they zoom the camera out. But you want to here. Let's just do it. This is a channel to help. So
enhance.
Okay. All right. So imagine that I'm in the van, or I'm at my house. And this is the wall, and I got my back to the wall, And you can have somebody measure the top of your head to here, and then that's going to give you a measurement. So you're going to take that measurement.
The top of your head.
You're going to take your ceiling height.
It might have been cut off.
And then you'll be able to.
Can you hear me?
Just start doing math.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, I said you said from here to
from the top of your head to your. Oh, you couldn't see. The top of your head.
We saw your whole body except the bottom part. What was the bottom?
The top of your head to your butt, like you're sitting down.
Oh, okay, your butt.
So
we saw most of you.
Enhance. So if you like an L shape, so this is your head, this is your butt, and this is where your legs are out. So this portion. So you want to take. So you measure your empty van ceiling height all the way down to the floor of the van. Okay, that's where you start. And we need a whiteboard. And then you're going to take your ceiling thickness and you're just going to subtract that. And then you're going to subtract that from you sitting down right here, head, butt, legs. And then, so here you go. You got your ceiling height. Okay, you're laying down. And then you're going to take into account the bed thickness, the bed frame, any structural support that you need. Take all that into account, and then whatever you have left over minus your floor thickness is going to give you the height needed for your bikes. So when I'm building a van, you always have to start at the end and then go backwards, because you can't build a van and then get to the end and be like, okay, I actually need a little bit more room here, because you're screwed. That's not going to work. It's too late. Because remember, as you're building your van, your floor is getting higher, your ceiling's getting lower, it's starting to come in. So whatever height you need for your bikes, that needs to be a fixed number. So say 36 inches. And then your fixed height for you sitting up in bed needs to be whatever it is. Now, there are things you may need to sacrifice. You may need to sacrifice mattress thickness. So instead of a 10-inch mattress, say you need 4 more inches, you're going to get a 6-inch mattress. Say you were going to use 2x4s to make your bed frame. And then instead of, say you need another 2.5 inches of room, now you're going to have to go to a 1-inch steel tubing or 1-inch aluminum tubing to make your bed frame. So there's all kinds of different ways to resolve that, but everything in a van is connected. So if you do something to the ceiling, it's going to affect the floor. If you do something to the floor, it's going to affect the bed. They're all connected. So if you have any more questions about that, send them to us and we can put that in a video, because I'm actually going to get back to what we were talking about. You can go down a wormhole with all these heights and measurements and stuff like that.
Camper conversion ideas. So the first one was glamorous. That second one we went through was more Spartan adventure.
Yeah, and I'll talk about this. I'll talk about this dog crate.
Millennials like dogs. We like dogs, right?
Yeah. So this is pretty cool. What they have is they've got a dog crate here, but then right here they've got a pass through. When they get their van parked and they're inside at nighttime and these doors are shut, the dog has a place to stay on the inside. I have a big disclaimer would be very careful with pets in vehicles. And a lot of people should say, oh yeah, duh, I know that, roll the windows down, all that stuff. But it's not that simple. Because say you're going into a grocery store, for example, your dog's in the car, you get the windows down, you're back in, let's say, 30 minutes or something like that. But when you get a van and you have an animal you're bringing with you, people may go out on a hike. So they want to keep their pet in the van because they're going on a hike. The van's going to get really hot. Even if you open up all the windows and you got the ventilation fan on, unless you're in, Washington or Oregon or some place where it's nice and cool, I say that would be okay. However, if you're anywhere more south in the U.S., it can get to be an oven depending on what season you're in. So one thing I would give advice for is they make these dog collars with a temperature sensor. So there's this company, I forgot which one it is. Here you go. So they have these heat sensing dog collars that send you text alerts when the temperature is above safe level for a dog. And I would get this. There's one I think that works like via satellite or LTE. Anyway, the point is, get something like this for your dog so that you can. It's expensive, but I think it's worth it if you're taking a trip and you're bringing your dog and you're putting it in the van. Some may ask when I'm saying this, why would you put your dog in the van if you're going out on a hike? So it's not that those owners that have dogs don't want to deal with the dog. It actually may be unsafe for the dog to be on specific trails. One, the dog may not be allowed. Some dogs are not allowed on certain state park trails and even certain national parks. Yep. So they're not actually allowed to be on the trails. Also, it might be very dangerous for the dog. Sometimes there's animals to where if the dog ran off, you should have it on leash. But there's certain areas that are dangerous for the animals. So it makes complete sense that owner would keep them in the van. So as long as it's well ventilated, there's some way to monitor the interior temperature of your van as you're going on a hike. I think that's completely cool. But do the due diligence to prepare for something like that. Kind of take care of your animal. Don't rely on
a bowl of water.
What if your fan stops? You don't know if your fan stops. You have no information. Man, we're going down some wormholes here. Okay.
Nah, mountain biking, dogs, it's all part of the ideas.
Okay, so you got a fixed height for your bikes. You can take your dog with you. Got some really good tips on how to take care of your animal, keep them safe.
Anything unique about this conversion, this build? Besides
this is standard. You got standard floor, dogs in there. You got nice height for mountain bikes. You got looks like a piece of aluminum. They got a nice little mountain silhouette made out of 3 pieces of wood. That's pretty cool. I like that. They got some old school Pioneer speakers here. That's so funny.
Is there any in that list of images? That list of images on the left, is there any that caught your eye that were different than the first two?
Let's just go through here. So here's somebody that has a fan built. This Sirocco fan, it's very popular. It's very expensive.
What is it? I don't know what that is. It's just one that oscillates. This goes back and forth.
So this fan, you can see if this will work here. So it has a hinge here and here. So it can move all 360. It can go up. It can go down. It can twist left and right. And people, see right there? So you can go all kinds of different directions. And it's really nice for vans. It's expensive. It's a 12-volt fan. But you only really need one of them. They make another one right here. Same company, but there's no guard on here. So if this is flapping around at night and you get up, it might hit you in the face.
But the savings.
Yeah, you need a fan. Even though you have a vent fan, you might want to direct the fan towards your face a little bit more. Because it can get hot if you're, hiking in certain places. Okay, so they got storage over here. They don't have the bed width-wise in this Transit. They have it lengthwise. They probably have the extended version. That's how they're doing this. This is actually what I wanted to do in my van, but I got a 148, so it's not long enough.
What about that sink and stove? Can you walk us through that? That looks different.
Yeah, this looks like a Dometic sink. These Dometic sinks, I'm not a fan.
Is that the brand, Dometic?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this sink. I think it's extremely overpriced.
Oh, it kind of looks like something on an airplane or a boat.
Yeah, it's extremely overpriced. This does fold down. And the selling point is, look, it's space savings, but this is glass. To me, that's a hazard, regardless if you got rubber grommets or whatever. When you open it up, you've got to flip this up. You got a little baby faucet here. You have no room. There's no room in here to do anything.
How big is your sink going to be?
So let's see here. I'll get to that 1 second. So we got 16 and a half inches. Okay, so see the sink is, we got 14, and then we got 5.5 inches. So the sink's 5 inches. So I went with this sink. This is which one is this? I went with the Ruvati. It's pretty much the most popular sink. I say Van Life sink. I think
you like that one?
I love this one. Yeah, this is the one I'm putting in. This is what I'm putting in.
Yeah.
What's nice is it comes with a drain. It comes with a cutting board that actually sits in here on top of it.
What's this website?
Oh, this is a good website. I don't buy from this website. I like to buy everything off of Amazon, and it's not because Amazon is easy.
If you can.
If I can, that's true. The reason that I buy from Amazon is all of my inventory and orders and past purchase history and specifications and wish list, everything is extremely organized. So if I have any questions on, okay, wait a minute, what was that diameter of this product that I bought? And I can quickly go to it. Or what were the additional components I bought when I purchased that? Mm-hmm. So this might be a good tip. If you are purchasing things off of Amazon, which almost, I'd say 99% of people that are doing DIY, they just go to Amazon because it's really convenient, easy. But what you can do is you can purchase things off of Amazon, and if you just do a little bit of forward thinking to help yourself organize, you can say, okay, I'm going to buy the sink, I'm going to buy the sink drain, I'm going to buy the water lines, I'm going to buy the water pump for the van on one order. Click buy. Okay, next, I'm going to buy my mattress, my linens. Okay, buy. So if you do those in modules, instead of just buying 100 things at one time, you can buy these in modules, and you can say, oh, this is how much it cost me for my kitchen sink and items. These are the items I bought, and these are the... Think of it more as just like a bill of materials. So coming from an engineering background, we always had bill of materials, and the bill of materials was the specific nut, bolt, screw, washer, quantity, manufacturer. It was a way to highly organize what we're buying. So if you're buying a van, let's say you get a sink. What sink did you get? Did you get an RV sink? Did you get a household sink? They're very different. The diameters of the sink drain, the diameter of where the faucet mounts, they're not the same. they're two different worlds. So if you buy an RV sink, and then you want to have this nice, let's go back to, we'll stay with Ford Transit. Let's do Ford Transit kitchen ideas. So you got your van, and you want this type of faucet. So this is what you're going for. Okay. So this whole diameter, the hoses that connect to it, all of that are household items. If we went into RV sink, I got fat fingers on the keyboard.
Are you saying it doesn't make sense to buy RV specific parts because you'll save more with regular?
Just my opinion. RV parts are not, like water pumps and stuff like that. That's what you're going to have to go with. But I'm wary on RV parts. Just the quality.
They don't instill confidence as much as traditional ones.
Yeah, the quality for me is just not really there. But you do have to adapt. So you can have this. You can have your nice faucet, but you're going to have to adapt stuff. So what you don't see behind the scenes of these really pretty builds right here is you get this nice faucet and this nice sink. Cool. The water lines and piping, you're going to have to adapt to some type of standard. So you're going to have to work. You're going to have to decide on what standard you're going to use. Are you going to use flexible PVC or nylon or something like that, like more like kind of the old school? Or are you going to go more of the new school way of doing van builds where you're doing like 1/2 inch PEX lines to put those in your van. And one YouTuber or van builder that I enjoy his idea, he says convert everything to 1/2-inch PEX, and I like that. So if you don't know what PEX is,
please tell us. I don't know what that is.
It's expensive, but this is what is in a lot of homes. So a lot of homes use PEX because it's really easy to work with. And
you see it on a lot of renovations or restorations.
Yeah, because PEX is pretty much, it's like the new thing where you're getting away from copper and metal piping, and you're going to more of this flexible type stuff. These are awesome. This is a PEX manifold, and it's just beautiful. If I when I build my tiny home or whatever, you're going to see this. PEX is just, you can really nerd out on it engineering wise. Anyway, so PEX allows you to, what's nicer for DIY, you can go 2 routes. It's not really advised to use this. This is called a shark bite fitting. And what a shark bite fitting is how a DIYer, somebody that's not comfortable with cutting PEX, maybe using the expanding tool and the crimper and all this stuff. If you're not comfortable with that, you can do these push connect fittings. It's a one-time connection. So you do it once. If you mess up, you're going to have to cut it and redo the whole thing. But assembling it's real easy. So let's talk about PEX in a van really quick. Okay, so we've got a picture right here. And this is a shark bite. PEX is this red. The red and blue is exactly the same. The only difference between red and blue is it's just to identify hot and cold. It's the same material. It's the same exact thing. It's just color coded to help you. Hold on. I gotta turn that off. It's so annoying. Okay, so you're saying, Nick, why don't you just buy this $300 crimper kit from Home Depot? You can do that. If you're a van builder, maybe you need this crimping kit, but this is what you really want to use. This is a PEX. This is a Milwaukee tool for PEX. So let me just... I butchered Milwaukee. That's okay. The problem is it's like a $400 tool. Okay, so if you're doing a DIY van build, you're probably not going to buy a $400 tool because you're saying, man, Nick, everything is 400, 400, 400, 400. I completely agree with you. That's what it feels like when you do a van build. So you don't have to do this, but if you still want to use PEX, which I highly recommend, this is called a shark bite fitting. And let's just do, how does a shark bite fitting work? All right, so a shark bite fitting, if this is a cross section of a shark bite fitting. So this left side is, ignore this left side for a second. Here we go. This is a better way. That's better. Let's see here. Give me a big picture. Okay, here's a shark bite fitting. Here's a little shark. It's called shark bite because it has teeth. So the way a shark bite fitting works is you have this is a coupler, and you have one line that goes into this side, and these are teeth right here. So the reason it's one-time use is you can push in, and those teeth are going to bite it. Shark bite. They're going to bite the plastic, and this O-ring is going to seal it so it doesn't leak water. So you shove a piece here, and then you shove a piece here, and then it seals it. And it's a really easy way. It's an easy way to connect tubing if you don't know how to use PEX crimping tools, or you don't want to spend that money with PEX crimping tools. Let me turn my camera back. If you have any questions about PEX tubing, how to connect it, give us those questions. I'll be happy to answer it. I'm going to be using that in the van, so you'll actually see me install that. PEX shark bite. It's a really good way to, let's rewind here. PEX is a way to convert so that you can get your water from your water storage tank to the sink. You know, that whole system. Yeah, Jamie, let's do an episode on like van sink ideas. I think that'll be great.
Okay.
So we'll knock that down. I'm going to try to rewind back to where we started somehow. So we talked about sinks, talked about PEX, how to connect them to the sinks. We talked about the sink. We talked about a home style sink versus RV industry sinks. They're different. The diameters are different. The water faucets are different. If you go to Gander Outdoors, or if you go to any like RV center,
Airstream.
Now I'm trying to think of stores that sell RV parts. If you go to any of those, Camping World. I don't want to say Gander,
Which I've never been to.
So you go to Camping World. If you go in and you fill those faucets and stuff, they're all made out of plastic. They're chrome-plated plastic, and everything in an RV is about weight, saving weight. The beautiful thing about building in these vans is you have a smaller space, but these vans, like the 350 series, 350, the weight capacity, you can go do your nice faucet and stuff like that. But just remember, these RV components, they're usually made to save weight. I know this Ruvati sink that I'm doing, it's pretty heavy. I don't know if it actually shows the weight. All right, stay with me, Jamie. We're going to get back to your question here in a second. I'm just trying to find.
I'm on your.
Trying to find the weight.
You lead the way. I don't actually have a next thing I found lined up, so I'm relying on you to come up with something.
Anyway, I forgot how much this sink weighs. The point is, the quality of the sink is excellent. It's all stainless steel. This one's just very expensive, and you don't get a lot of space to clean dishes. I mean, that's what you're going to use a sink for. So to finish up the looks here, so if we just go back, let's back up. So van conversion ideas. You'll notice we got clean like white paint with wood accents. Then we got wood on wood. We got this one's completely white. Just clean, and you'll notice a theme here. Clean, very clean. And this, this color white is to help the space feel bigger. But sometimes you want a more cozy feel, so that's why you're using a lot of these wood elements. The wood and the white. And we're randomly going through here. This is nothing planned. And you can see, look, it's
freestyle.
It's just white. I'm a fan of the darker. I like the darker elements. The reason I like it is because for adventure vans specifically, if you got dogs, if you got hiking gear, if you have a white van, it's gonna be very dirty.
Make sure you have your all-purpose spray at all times.
Yeah, it's gonna be you're gonna be wiping that down with some Lysol wipes every day. But if you have these wood tones, it covers that up a lot. Oh, also imperfections, dents, dings, putting the bike in, taking the bike out. You're going to dent and ding all this stuff up. And a lot of people like wood that is dented up and dinged. Adds that character to it. If you paint it white, you're gonna see that.
Hey, go back. There's an idea that could the pop out. The pop up.
Yeah. So a little knowledge on the pop out. So Sports Mobile sells this pop up. However, it is not. It's only allowed on the low roof versions. This is not allowed on the high roof versions because the structural integrity of the van is affected. So a low roof is the only one you can actually use a pop-up at this current time. There's another company that is coming out with one for the high roof, and they have some type of frame that reinforces the structure. So at this moment, if you have a Ford low roof van, this pop-up, you can do it. I forgot the name of the other company that's working on the one for the high roof. But again, guys, just like the flare spaces, you are taking a saw and you are cutting the whole entire roof of your van out. It will be removed. All your cross members are taken out. And I'm just saying this from my engineer background. You're removing the structure of the van. So
I think
in the future, understand that van parts like this, these, even though these are engineered solutions, it doesn't mean that this doesn't affect the van. And I'm not saying don't do this. I'm saying if you do this, and then all of a sudden you got a little bit of warpage or stuff is shifting in the van, just be aware that the
guy said that was, how much was that? 14 grand?
Yeah, 14,000 for this install.
Something like that. Wow.
I mean, hey, I might do this.
I think it's smart.
But just understand, you just like the more holes you cut out of your van, the further you go from Ford engineers that have designed it to.
But see, with that pop-up top, you can now fit your dog will stay cool and your mountain bike will fit.
People would not leave this up if they leave the van.
The mountain bike fits and the dog will stay cool with that pop top.
Yeah, not hating on it, but I think you want a little bit more. And again, guys, I'm going more for an extreme adventure van that you can take up to the tip of Alaska, that type of thing. That's kind of what I like to. That's what I want to build for. But stuff that is just kind of like fun weekender. I don't know. I digress.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on the pop-up. I think it's cool, but I don't know. My engineer side says you're removing a whole lot of safety.
It's not gonna flip over, right?
No.
We can wrap it up. I think that was good to finish on.
Let's see here. Yeah, we'll just go through here real quick. That's cool.
Ooh, finally seen the beach. I haven't seen the beach in the background in a while.
No, what I'm saying is cool is they elevated this. That's a cool idea. That way you can have storage. But see, you guys get the idea. You got here's that layout where you get a desk and bench during the day. You lay it down, bed at nighttime. So that's what the van number 1. That's pretty much what it's going to look like. This is the exact layout
with a high roof, though. That's not high roof looking.
Yeah, this looks like a mid roof. That's nice. That's nice and clean. This is a single person. That's for transporting
prisoners? What is that?
Prisoners, yeah.
Whoa,
that's cool. That's
pretty
cool.
Spartan.
So this flips down for the bed. And I guess
almost looks like public transport.
You can keep your bed here. Storage.
Yikes. That's minimal there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, so if you guys want to know what these things are, everybody's like, man, what is those things? What are those things to vent the bed? It's called the Froley beds. Froli. There it is. It's called the Froley bed system. And what this allows you to do is you get some nice flex in the bed system, but it raises your bed up off of the wood and protects from mold, moisture. Froley sleep system. Let's see. I don't know where you can buy it. I thought it might be somewhere on Amazon. Let's see here. Yeah, the Froley system. So you buy them and they kind of snap in like Legos together. There they go. That's what they look like.
Are you familiar with Legos, Nick?
Oh yeah. I'm a Lego maniac. Where is this? Froley. There you go. Froley travel.
Mattress ventilations. I've never seen that.
Oh, it's very important to ventilate your mattress.
Learned so much today.
What is this? Yeah, I know they're... Okay, so a queen is probably what you're going to fit. That is not bad. They used to be a little bit more expensive than that.
It's always $400.
Yeah. Everything for van building is $400.
It's $398. It's just $400. Actually, a lot of things I've seen you buy are.
There you go, 40 inches.
You wish were 400.
There you go, guys.
That's cool.
40
Oh,
inches.
that'd be cool to actually have like the U-Haul has that pull-out bridge.
Yeah, so this is very popular. So these are.
What is that called?
These are drawer slides.
Drawer slide?
They're heavy duty. They are completely different than stuff at Lowe's or Home Depot. Do not get drawer slides from Lowe's or Home Depot. I'm sorry, guys. I'm about to show you something that's $400 again. So these are 500-pound drawer. You want locking drawer slides. Here you go.
You need two of them?
Yeah, well, they should come in a pair. So 500-pound capacity. The little blue tab right here, that's your locking. Sometimes they're yellow. So this one is, let's do heavy-duty drawer slides. I've never seen this. I'm just randomly Googling here, guys. So slide length, let's do 48 inches is pretty common. Low capacity, 500 pounds. That way, if you guys want to like sit on this or something.
Would this be a feature in one of your vans?
This is more add-on stuff. Because, again, van number 1 is a spec build. So nobody has come to us and said, this is what I want, Nick, in my van. I'm building this van as more of a showcase of the capabilities of Odyssey Customs. So when you see it, you're like, oh, that's awesome. Now, I'm building it with the Adventure Wagon interior conversion kit specifically because that is a modular kit. So if you want to... If you go to Adventure Wagon Kit, Adventure Wagon, and we go to accessories. So the kit that I've installed in this van allows you to buy these add-ons. They're very expensive.
Is that to be like a bunk bed?
Yep, but this is just the top. So if you wanted two...
It's just one of them?
Yeah, so if you wanted two of these, it'd be almost $6,000.
Wow.
So they're very expensive, but it's the engineering. So look, guys, it's extremely low profile. It has these little, you can see these little grids here. So what that does is if the bed is lower, the grids are expanded, and as the bed moves up, so the van curves, right? So if you want the bed higher, as it moves up, the bed frame actually moves in. And then if you lower it, it moves out. So that's what that is. This is really cool. So again, the van I'm building, you can buy all this stuff.
That actually is cool. It saves space.
Yep. And so people use this because, believe it or not, they'll actually buy this system and then drive their motorcycles. So they'll drive 2 motorcycles up into the back of their Transit. They'll strap it down. They'll go on their adventure. And then when they get to their location, they'll actually put the ramps up, take the motorcycles out of the van, and then they'll put the beds down, and then they can...
Are these dirt bikes?
Oh, yeah. These are dirt bikes.
Okay. Not like a Harley.
They're that big. So there you go.
Cool.
They put...
yeah, it looks cool.
So they'll do this, and then...
it's way smaller than a Harley.
There you go. So here's an adventure. So you got 2... motorcycles, and then you get the bed up here, so you can lower the bed when you take the bikes out. And again, this Moab is what they call their elevator bed, so it goes up on these rails. So my van will have these rails installed, and that allows
so you have to have the wall kit to install that.
You have to have the Adventure Wagon system, so that I'm installing the Adventure Wagon system, and then it allows you to add this.
You are an Adventure Wagon installer.
Yeah, I'm installing an Adventure Wagon. I'm not a installer yet.
Oh, I'm sure you will be.
Let's see. And then these mule bags, they're really cool. They're soft bags that you can put up into your... I need to help them with their product. There you go. See? It snaps in. And I like these soft bags because if you get up and you forget the bags there, you don't bust your head on a cabinet. I really like that.
Oh, that's smart.
Guys,
how much is it?
To go with the joke, Sorry. It's $400. So a bag is $400. The bed you sleep. Okay, I'm sorry. The bed you're going to more expensive. Okay, the bed frame is $3,200. The mattress is $1,100. So $4,000 to go sleep on a bed.
Sell your Bitcoin. All right.
Anyway, but again, guys, the reason this stuff is expensive is because it has to be engineered to be lightweight. Because that bed, let's just say, with you or somebody else on the bed, 400 pounds with the mattress frame, the bolts, everything, you could be looking at 500 pounds. So that's why these things need to be engineered to be safe. You don't want to get to your destination, go hike, and then come back, and then your bed falls apart. So, yeah, we're wrapping this up here. That was really cool that this is here. We talked about these drawer slides. You guys can buy them. 40 inches for the heights for the bike. I think we have some minimalist designs. There you go. There's a pretty loaded out van. I like that. I'll tell you one thing I'm into. I'm really into the outdoor kitchen. I think that is...
That slides out?
Yeah, because when I go hike and I have my friends together, we're
how about make this we can make this a part one if you want to do another.
We're cooking out the side of the van. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a bunch of these ideas and then we can expand on them just a little bit. We talked about sink system. We talked about a little bit about layout, design. We talked about sliding systems, interior kits, bikes. I mean, we just kind of did a little van overview of... See right there? That's what I'm probably going to build in my van.
Ooh, that's smart.
And, okay, last thing, guys. You might be enjoying this and getting a kick out of this, but I saw this at Lowe's, and I could not believe it last night.
You don't go to Lowe's much, do you?
I saw this. I couldn't believe this. It blew my mind away. Is Lowe's stainless? Look at this. Got $129. I'm going to put this in my van. It's $129. Look at this. It is awesome. Look at that. You can mount this on a drawer slide with a propane bottle. Just slide it out.
Oh, in your 2019 van?
Yeah. Look at that.
Dang.
Stainless steel.
Overcooked burgers. Perfect. Well, great.
Yeah. Cool. So that's it. We can go down the wormhole and just go through all this stuff. But guys, there's so many different ideas. There's a lot of things that help you do it the right way, but at the same time, you might want to put your little touch on it. You might have a different use case for these vans. You might be living in it full time. You might be going it on strictly on adventures, moto camping, stuff like that. But if you want any advice or my take on this, because I've done tons of research over the last 2 years on just all things vans, really getting in the nitty gritty. Ask us these questions. Put those in the comments. We'll be happy to answer them in a future video. Yeah, but we're going to end it here. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.